Well, hello everyone. We are now at episode 10, double digits of Downtime at DT. I never thought this day would come. I didn't think anyone would actually listen. But thanks to Mum and Brian Vella for keeping the dream alive for me. 2 listens a week. So with me this week, I have 2 people at the same time who are our creative team that's come over from Melbourne. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello.
Hello, I'm Lucy,
And I'm Emma.
and we're the creative team from Melbourne.
So do you have like a, Kim Ye, it's like amalgamation of names that the paparazzi can refer to you as?
I'm Masha.
A mashup.
I'm surprised we haven't thought of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
Emma-
Kim Ye and
Kimye.
then
MC.
Luma.
I'm gonna
They're
go
not
with
working. And our last names are even worse. It'd be like Downsland.
Downland.
Or
Board
Balls.
Balls.
all right. These are all terrible. I'm gonna move you along.
So, no.
So no, look, no, that was unsuccessful. So what does a creative team do?
I've been asking myself the same thing since I started.
Yeah, right.
No, we...
Like in an existential way, Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to...
We like ideas, so
Yeah.
our job is we're essentially idea people.
Okay.
So we think of something good to do for a brand, something interesting.
And is
Together.
there a structure that you follow to developing ideas, or is
Yeah.
it more of a I feel this way?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
There'll be like the natural ones that just happen off the bat.
Yeah,
But,
right.
they're all always off the bat of a really good strategy.
Okay.
So that's important, insights and stuff.
So we'll generally go in a kind of like a 3-part process. So we'll
Yep.
think of an insight, and then off that we'll think of an idea, and then from there it'll be an execution. So for example, if we were doing an Optus phone plan,
Yep.
the insight would be for one of their cheaper plans that they might be buying the plan for their kids. And so the idea could be a kid-friendly phone plan, for example, and then the ideas would come off that as
Yeah,
kind of our
right.
propositions.
Okay. So you're kind of saying that the work that Barry, who in a previous podcast was talking about, that becomes sort of a grounding in terms of the foundation that you build your creative ideas on. So it's not just a random, hey, we should just,
Sometimes it is.
yeah.
Emma comes up with a lot of ideas about robots, which kind of stem from nowhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with
Deep
that.
insights that people like robots.
Well, they do like robots. Just look at the Terminator.
Mm.
Warm,
I
cuddly.
read-
Transformers?
Transformers,
Great films, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Really good.
So look, we talked a little bit about, finding the insights and, that being the foundation of creativity. Is there a spirit animal that you summon when you're desperately trying to find some insights, desperately trying to find some creative ideas that kind of embodies?
Taylor Swift would be my
You know
spirit
what I was
animal.
thinking that? I was like, we generally just go into Taylor Swift holes.
Yeah, right.
I would say Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
The only problem is she's not on Spotify, so I've got to just sift through YouTube playlists.
But
But
then
they-
there is more inspo to be found in her video clips.
That is true as well.
What's the one where she's at that like English manor and
Blank
Blank
space.
space.
the best one.
The best one. So there's a lot of, you just get into that mode where you're just like cutting
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, then we've got heaps of creative ideas about horses, about like
Mansions.
mansions,
Models.
cars. What else? Like there's a picnic in there.
Lots
So-
of good ones.
Taylor Swift, spirit animal. A collective spirit animal.
Well, I mean, that's only fitting, right?
Yeah. Do you like look in the mirror and go, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, Taylor Swift, and she appears? Is
Be
it-
more Taylor, be
I-
more Taylor. Like we just channel that.
Yeah, right, no.
I think that maybe she would be my friend if I knew her.
Yeah,
She
I
just
feel
gotta
like-
give us a
yeah.
chance.
I would try and be friends with Taylor Swift. I
Who
think.
wouldn't? I'm actually there's a picture of Taylor Swift on the strategy desks that I'm really upset about. They've written on her face.
What did they write?
They just coloured her face in green.
Why?
I don't know, and every time I walk past it, I just get even more angry.
So, how did you come to be a creative? Like, it just seems like a somewhat ephemeral type idea, but how did you...
We could ask
Get-
you the same thing.
I just made it up. I just told people that I was creative until they believed me.
Mm.
But was there a formal process? Is this something you studied, or did you...
Yeah.
Yep, they can't hear you.
They
nodding.
can't hear.
We
I need
studied.
you to verbalise those nods.
We
Yeah.
studied advertising. That's how Emma and I met.
All right, great.
I didn't get into my first preference, so I kind of fell into advertising, which was a blessing in disguise, really.
I think so, because you two seemed like you're going to be bros for life.
Potential.
It depends.
If there's some kind of Taylor Swift type boyfriend type
if
scenario that happens. Or...
I did, yeah. No, I mean like Taylor Swift, more Taylor Swift focused.
Yeah.
Like if Emma was friends with her and left me out of it, that would probably shatter everything.
Yeah.
And how do you study advertising?
Books and pencils.
And lots of drawing, practicing.
I don't know, it was the
How
same.
did you, come on, you were at uni for 3 years.
We
What
studied
did we
all-
do?
We studied all advertising though. We didn't just study creative. We studied counts and strategy
Oh,
and,
right,
and
okay.
stuff. So that from there we kind of chose what we were good at.
Ah, I
And then
see.
in our
Yeah.
final year we did more.
Right. So you
specific.
kind of just do everything, and then you decide, right, I'm going to specialize in art direction,
Yeah,
copywriting, that kind of stuff.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why was that the thing that you ended up specializing in? Why were you passionate
Because
about?
we were
this
terrible at
area?
everything else. I was. Emma was good
It
at
was
everything.
fun. The rest was boring.
Yeah, right. This was the good,
This
the
was
good
the
stuff.
good stuff.
And how are you enjoying being in Sydney, doing the creative work here?
So far, so good.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
it?
it's good.
few
It's been a good
days?
change. I mean, we haven't been here very long.
No,
Mm.
no. Is it quite different in terms of how the offices work, or?
I suppose it comes with going anywhere new.
Yeah.
We had a pretty big support network in Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
There's
yeah.
a lot more people. We were more we knew them more intimately.
Yeah.
We had a really big team as well. There was like eight of us.
Yeah, yeah.
So, coming to Sydney where there's Yoko and yourself and us and the freelancers.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a bit smaller.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. There's a bit
And
more
there's-
pressure that you can't sort of reach out to. It's like it's you or it's no one.
Not
I
really.
feel like we
Alright,
can reach
I feel
out
like
to
that
people.
sometimes.
Do
Oh,
you?
really?
Yeah.
That's only because
You look so sad
We
then.
can't-
What
we
is
just want to
about
help.
us?
yeah.
We're here now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot. It seems like there's a lot less people on each project.
Yeah.
Which can be good and bad. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
And I guess you haven't. Maybe if we have a follow up podcast, we'll talk about the difference between Sydney and Melbourne. But you haven't really had. Any
I
time
kind of
to
find Sydney scary. Like
Yeah.
not work, but like the place. Like
The
I was
place.
walking through the city yesterday, and I was just felt kind of a lot more scared than I would if I was walking through the city in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Is that because you didn't know where you were and you couldn't find your dinner?
Yes, that is. But there's a lot more like. I just feel like everything's a bit more dodgy. You know, especially in the creepy area I was.
yeah. It's all very. I guess which are the dodgy areas in Melbourne and where
I
not
think
to go.
exactly, and I just don't.
Maybe we should develop some kind of device that will just beep you when you go into the
The
dodgy
red
areas.
zone.
Yeah, don't go here.
Yeah.
The shadow lens.
colder.
Yeah.
Turn around.
So look, you're kind of. I see a lot of the work that you're doing. You're quite obviously excited about robots or a robot Taylor Swift, perhaps. But in the kind of future of technology and internet, where do you feel that we're going, and what excites you about what we're going to be doing in the future when it comes to technology?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're learning different things every day, but I do like the idea of a robot Taylor Swift. Maybe
Yeah.
someone we can program to be our friend. You know?
So programming friends now.
Yeah, so programming
One
friends.
way
We
to
don't
make
have
them.
many in Sydney yet.
Yeah.
But Yoko always talks about stories not being, advertising agencies not being telling stories anymore. Like we create experiences for other people to tell our stories for us.
Yeah, I love
So
it.
that's a kind of interesting way of looking at it that I know we've never been taught at uni. It was always telling stories.
Storytelling.
But with technology, we have the ability to make stories. And,
Yes.
and create experiences that people are going to share because they're new and innovative. And I guess the exciting thing is we don't know because in 12 months it's going to be something completely different.
Yeah, that is really nice. It's sort of we are facilitators of stories and
We enable them. We're
and
enablers.
are letting you to be part of a story
Yeah.
rather than going, yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
our story.
Now, we went briefly to the future where you had robot friends.
It's kind of pathetic, isn't it?
How do you feel your skills that you've learnt so far in the 22 years of life?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you'd go in 7th century medieval England?
Ooh. Not well.
No.
I'm not very good at like achieving things.
That was the most honest answer that we've had so far. Not well.
Very bad.
Yeah, I'm all about Airtasker, which is this site where I get people
Yeah.
to do stuff for me,
Yeah, right.
like handiwork. Even moving to Sydney, I had someone kind of unpacking my bed for me, and they're going to be doing steam cleaning and gardening, so I'm just kind of...
Did they need steam cleaning in medieval England, though?
Well, if they did, I
They
couldn't do
definitely
it.
didn't have Jim's mowing.
So it seems like you'd be some kind of feudal lord where you would just have the area or have the space and you would just allocate tasks to your people.
That would be
to
the
do.
dream.
That would be the dream. So
That'd be the
that's what you'd be best suited for, I think, in 7th century medieval England.
Yeah.
Lucy?
Well, they have this thing called Desert Island Discs. Have you listened to any of those?
Yeah.
Well, it's just basically celebrities, what CDs they take away with them.
Yeah.
If they were stranded on a desert island, and they ask at the end of the show, would you survive on a desert island? And I always think, no, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't know what to eat or where to get clean water. And then they give you like a luxury at the end, and I'm like, I don't know what would make that better.
So I'll give you a tip.
Will you?
Yeah. So what you can actually do is if you have a plastic container and another piece of plastic, what you can do is you get seawater and, maybe you've got a bucket of seawater and then you put some clear plastic over the top and a stone in the middle, leave it out in the sun, and you have another little bucket in the middle to catch the clean water. So what happens is all the water evaporates onto the plastic, then drips down into the centre and then goes down. So that's how you can get
Do you
clean
reckon
water.
you would make enough clean water to live off?
If you're on a desert island, you don't have a lot to do, so
You could make lots of them.
yeah.
That's pretty smart.
Where did you get the plastic containers
No, the
from?
plastic containers could be the luxury.
So your luxury would be plastic containers. Why don't you just ask for like a water filter?
Because you need to put something in it to filter the water. Like that's saying like you can filter
A
salt water.
desalination plant.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's one
That's
way
a-
that you can
That's
survive.
a pretty good
So
idea.
we've ticked that one survival thing for you.
Okay, well, food's a completely different area.
Who's going to win in a fight?
I would win in a fight.
No.
Physically.
Oh,
Excuse
actually,
Are you
ooh.
talking about us?
Yeah,
Between us?
who would physically win in a
I
fight?
would physically. We've discussed this. I would physically win in a fight.
Depends. What's the weaponry like?
Just
Just us?
bare knuckles.
She'd probably take me down.
Yeah.
Physically. Mentally, well, I don't know.
We wouldn't ever be in that position
I don't believe
because
you
we
would.
love each other.
You do. No, what I was actually going to say is who would win in a fight? A chimpanzee. Chimpanzee.
I
with a-
would win in a fight.
Hey, let me
Okay,
finish the question.
Sorry.
A chimpanzee with a knife or a great white shark that can breathe out of water?
A great white
Like
shark.
the shark.
And
They
why?
have 3 rows of razor sharp teeth.
But they're not in their natural habitat. They're kind of floundering around on the ground.
They can breathe out of
water. They'd
Yeah.
figure it out. Even though monkeys have opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
What are the thumbs like? Just shark don't have thumbs.
It'd just be...
Finny.
If it is just flopping around like a fish, though, a monkey could just go behind it and chop its tail off.
Maybe.
Oh, that's hard to say. I didn't know. I thought it was
What-
like a standing
How big is
shark.
the monkey?
So a chimpanzee would probably be
Chimpanzee.
a small child.
A
I think-
small child.
I think we'd need to know the characters of both.
You need to get into the heart.
Where
of-
was the
What's their
chimpanzee
motivation?
raised?
Because the chimpanzee might be a deadbeat.
Yeah,
you know?
like, or if he's on he was raised in Brooklyn, in
Yeah.
the 70s, so he's
Exactly.
like mean streets.
Yeah, he located to Redfern.
The shark
Where he
could
can
be
continue
a
on
metro
his-
shark who
Yeah.
just doesn't want any conflict.
He grew up in Surrey Hills. He's
Yeah.
got questionable facial hair. Only
Exactly.
eats vegan
Scarf.
tofu. All right, these are all great questions. You've opened the debate wide open into the monkey versus chimp, monkey chimp
Well,
shark debate.
When I first heard the question, I thought it was a no-brainer shark, but now
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
It's a really divisive question. I think it's either like 50-50 or like 60-40, so there's no clear winner in this debate yet.
Hmm.
But I'll keep asking it until we
We
have
should start a poll,
a poll. I think
like
so.
what they did
Like a
with
survey
the,
monkey.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the dress. And they started a poll with the dress.
Yeah.
We won't bring it up, but if they did
That
it.
dress. Kills me. What do you guys get up to outside the office? Like the passions that you have outside the office. Passion for creativity, passion for
Eating.
We eat
We
out
eat
a
and
lot.
sleep.
yeah.
We do eat out a lot.
I don't know. We do things normal people do. Eat, sleep, socialize.
These aren't passions though. They're just
Well, our passion is really kind of our work, I guess.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have businesses outside of work, but I guess we're at the moment just really focused on what we're doing.
yeah, cool.
But like leisurely time, we'll do lots of reading, watching of great shows.
Any content tips for our listeners?
Content tips.
What do you mean?
Like recommendations?
Good books, good shows to
books.
watch.
I just finished The Rosie Effect, which is a sequel to The Rosie Project.
I have no idea.
It was written by a Melbourne writer, and it's about this man with Asperger's.
Yeah.
And he decides that he wants a wife, but because he thinks rationally and not emotionally, he decides what he wants in a wife and makes a survey. And then he hands it out to like hundreds of women to try and get his perfect wife.
I definitely want to read this
Yeah,
book.
it's great. And then the sequel is kind of what happens after that, but I won't give too much away.
Is it a real story or just a...
No, it's just fiction. But
right.
it's so well written. It's written completely from the perspective of the Don Tillman, so the man with Asperger's, and it's just so rational in the way he thinks about everything, like to every little detail.
Yeah.
It's how he's thinking, and it's so well done.
So, my housemate in London, she worked with the English Autism Society. So every now and then I'd get invited to go out to drinks with all of her clients, and it was amazing. These people were just so interesting to talk to because a lot of them seem to have very particular passions about certain things, like things like maps, and they'd be able to sort of tell me, or train lines, and you just you'd learn a lot from these people. There was a few strange interactions, but generally they're very, very interesting to see the world from a different perspective.
Yeah, totally.
I'm reading Thinking Fast and Slow at the moment, but I got up to chapter 2 and they asked me to do a very hard math equation and then I zoned out.
Yeah, so you're focused more on the thinking slow at the moment.
No, thinking fast.
All right, you're thinking fast.
Yeah, so thinking slow, like, I don't know what 17 times 54 is, and
You said it was a very hard math equation.
Do you know what 17 times 54 is?
Let's try and work this
That
out.
would be 540, and then 7 times 350, so that's 850, and then 4 times...
Emma's very good at head math.
Head math. I'm very good at head math.
Yeah. It's years of experience in shopping.
Oh, right. Retail. Was it?
Or just enjoying retail.
Oh, you were...
from the other side of the register.
you weren't at the register.
Shopping.
You were just like, if I buy all these things, how much will it cost me? All right, okay.
Yeah. Can I afford the shoes and the bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind
Indeed.
of stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to take you in a quick fire round. Where were you born?
Everton Park in Brisbane.
All right.
And Tokyo in Japan.
For realsies.
For realsies.
Are you a citizen of Japan?
No, they're really tight about that. I have
Were
a
your
Japanese...
parents diplomats?
They just live
Your
there.
parents aren't diplomats.
That was the
I
thought that was a joke, but then I didn't know if I should laugh or not.
No, because
No,
diplomats...
he just worked.
I've a few people, their parents have been diplomats and they're born in that country, but because they're diplomats, they're not entitled to citizenship.
No, I'm not entitled to citizenship either. I have a Japanese birth certificate, but because both my parents are Australian residents, they were just over there because my dad worked over there. So
cool.
I'm in Australia.
Yeah, right. Clients you're currently working on?
Optus.
That's it. Optus, 127% Optus.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah.
We're just helping a really exciting project get off the ground. Well, not really off the ground. It's kind of off the ground now.
We helped sell in a strategy for Optus, a creative strategy. So we've been seeing that out for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
making
lovely.
sure it's on track.
2 things that you like?
Avocado and Vegemite.
I would
Namely together.
I would say cheese. Cheese. I bought some cheese from the supermarket the other day, and Taylor Swift.
It didn't have to be food, did it?
No.
But it's usually
that's
it's one of those like whatever people say first is usually I just go with it.
You really put people on the spot like that. I'd like to rethink my answer and give a better one.
You've asked us right near the kitchen.
They do have free cheese slices in the kitchen.
In our line of view. That's what we're saying.
I've got nothing. I don't like. I like cheese, but I also want to rethink my answers.
Seriously.
What do you think you would do if creative in an advertising agency space didn't exist? Advertising, internet technology didn't exist.
So if we couldn't do the jobs we were doing?
Yeah.
My mum always said I'd be a good journalist.
Yeah.
But there was no money in it.
No.
Or advertising, or really anything creative.
That is a pure passion career.
Yeah.
It's just, it's such a grind.
I don't know.
You might be a writer.
Maybe.
Emma and I would like to write children's books.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Or like work, actually my dream is to work in children's theatre.
Oh, wow.
Like writing plays where you can just have like puppet plays and put on
nice.
completely moral, life-changing plays for 4-year-olds.
Transformative plays.
Really put yourself into your play and then change the lives of some
Not a bad
4-year-olds.
idea. Puppet plays.
Side
note.
Sydney Opera House does a lot of great children's theatre. I went to see The Gruffalo. Do you know The Gruffalo?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I took my...
Is it a grumpy buffalo?
It's like...
It should be.
It kind of looks like one of the Where the Wild Things Are type creatures.
Mm.
And it was a story I used to read to my goddaughter to the point where she had memorised the book. So she'd heard it so many times. So I went and saw the live production of The Gruffalo. It's pretty amazing.
Mm.
Well, do you know what? I've come to the end of my questions.
That's great.
Is there any questions you want to ask me?
Yeah.
Mine's more of a comment.
Yeah.
I like your shirt today.
Yeah, cheers.
Mikey's shirt has pens in it, but they're not real pens.
They're printed onto my shirt.
Printed pens.
It's a trick. It's an illusion. Is there any last words that you would like to share with the listeners of Downtime at DT?
Nah.
Nah?
Come and chat to us.
Yeah.
We're just at our desks.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
So,
or the kitchen.
Come and be friends with them. So, in case the whole robot friends don't pay out, maybe they should get some human friends.
I'm not asking too much.
All right. Thank you very much
Bye.
for chatting with us.
Bye.